Today I'm playing Edith Finch. No idea what it is, but hey. Hold on, let's check the options, camera control. I have no idea what I just did there. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Huh? No.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Why? Ooh, flowers. Can I do anything with flowers? No. Yours.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
What?
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh. There's a lot. That's pretty good.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Finches, eh? This ought to be good. I'm liking it already.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Why is she trying? Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing? This is just so weird. Hello, dear.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
It can't be. How?
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
It's called Edith Finch. What in the... I'm not an architect, but that doesn't seem very stable, if you ask me. No, I own the place. I'm walking.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Miss Milton Finch.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Why are you scared of a house?
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Well, okay then. So let's kick down the door. Can't do nothing in the garage. How does one run in this? I mean, seriously, come on. That's one way
Crawling
to
through
get
the
it.
doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
I bet it was. Yeah, you lack. Wait, solder. This is actually pretty nice. Grain glow, wood shatter. That's a pretty sucky vacuum.
For the first time in years,
I know that was terrible.
I felt like I was home.
This is a weird home, bud. No offense.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
What? That's a big stuff. It's even got 4 ovens? Damn. Who needs 6 pieces of toast at once? I mean, jeez.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
That's quite a bit.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Why does it look like this exactly? I don't understand.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Okay, so this was her. Got it. Nice view. Okay, what is with the books? Come on. It's like you put this big old expensive TV on some books.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
I don't know about that.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
What's in the basement? Barbara.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Huh. What's up with this door, huh? Wait, why is it glued? How am I gonna get wrecked?
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Holy crap. I don't understand.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Well, that's sad. Hello, bugs.
I spent a lot of time
You know,
playing
you
in
could say
Great
this
Uncle
game's
Walter's
pretty
room.
buggy.
I think my mom
What?
sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
How can...
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
If this unlocks the... What is up with the books?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Ah!
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
She was scared of the dark.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind the door.
How does...
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Yep, what
I
about...
grew up looking at
Yep.
Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
What? That's pretty cool. Who isn't exactly?
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner.
Oh my
I woke up and I
God.
was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Yep.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Oh my gosh, really? What about your door?
Mom, can I come out now?
No, you're
It's late. Go to sleep.
What? Go to sleep, eh? There is no rest for the wicked.
I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night.
I really hope that was edible.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly,
What the?
I was a cat.
Huh? What?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Come here. Come here. I'm gonna. So, how am I a cat exactly? Can someone explain this? Why is this cat so flexible? Or, not flexible. What is it?
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
You got some old parents, bud. Hey, that was pretty good. You get 10 out of 10 points on that. That was a good pun. That was just very punny. Come here. Where am I? You stop
I jumped
running.
and I almost got her.
Where
I
am
could
I?
tell she was getting really tired.
Then just eat the bird.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
How do you know it was a mama? Come here, bird.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
Wait, huh?
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I
No.
heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Where do you see a rabbit? Rabbit! Come here, rabbit. Oh, poor thing.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Bigger, eh? I think that's the biggest you're gonna be able to take off with.
A mama rabbit.
What? Why are you going for the mamas? That's not very nice.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. Suddenly, I was a shark.
Huh? is this game? It's a miracle I'm not dead yet, but hey.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. How does one go down?
I
Come
wanted
back.
fat, juicy seals.
Oh, have fun with that, bud. Come here. Yum. Yum, yum.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
This kid is terrifying. It's Moido. Come here. Give me a bite.
Grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
What am I now?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
What is this, an anaconda? Why am I a snack? Just think.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
This has got to be an anaconda. Damn. I gotta know, how big is this thing?
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Oh, this is a real big snake. That's my nibble. This is a really big snake. This is almost spooky. Peekaboo. Bite you in the butt.
Last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
What? Oh, God. What is
I
it now?
slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
You spin me right round. Oh no. You've got to be
I got
joking.
closer and closer.
Wait, how's...
All my stomach started growling.
Wait. Wait, do snakes have more than one stomach?
Suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Huh? What, is she crazy?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Okay. Shaving. What are you saving exactly? Wait, how do I get out of here? No? I guess I go through the window. I do what too much?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum.
I'm really confused now. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by do that. Denmark.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
That's bright.
It was a pretty big trace.
Oh, I swear if I...
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
What? That's crazy. Hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. Calvin.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Okay.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Fort Calvin, eh? Oh, there's the camera. Yes. Huh? Wait, hold on.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Some notes.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Here we go.
That's the day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
To his death, apparently.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Huh? Holy crap! Who did
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad...
Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
What do you mean on cue, bud?
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
like this music. This reminds me of Call of Duty. Zombies.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Ah! It's Halloween all over again, boys.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Ah! Booped me. Wow. Walter Domain.
Walter, are you there? Blah! Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Really? No.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Stop.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Ah!
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Huh?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
That was pretty terrible.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Yes, because death is a happy ending. Wait, hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Wait, oh, I had to go through. Dang it.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Move out the way.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay, they're more like... I don't even know.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
So that story had a purpose. That is pretty clever. I am not gonna lie. I don't know how they... I don't know how you would make that, but I want one.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I saw what you did there.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Nah, probably not.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
What could she be hiding? I can't see anything. There we go.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Walt?
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
What?
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, You get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Ah!
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me.
And what are you gonna do, bud?
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
You're the same.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
I wouldn't believe it, bud. Get your trap! More books. Oh my gosh.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
No.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
That's...
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Dang. I wanted to jump
I don't know
off.
if I should even be writing this.
I don't know, Chief.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Debatable.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Huh? What are you talking about?
And the history you're a part of.
What are you talking about, eh? Stop it!
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Yes.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Wait, I think the people in these stories believe them. Huh? Okay, now you got me even more confused.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
I guess. Wait, I'm outside?
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
What are you talking about?
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. Three of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Derpy Jr., Derpy, Burpy, Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, Zerpy. Hey, welcome to the
Sven
dream. How
built
you
the
doing?
house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
What are you going on about?
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
See what?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ah. Wait. Well, I guess.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
Wait, am I eating?
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
She could have just told you. You know.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Wait, you're pregnant? What are you doing? She is. Interesting. Hey, welcome to the dream. How you doing? Where in the world am I supposed to go? Wait, I'm stupid. I'm in bed. Yeah.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Both crazy?
They were both pretty intense.
Woo! Done. Gimme. Gimme, gimme. Please, no more reading.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
You can use your pew-pew.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Nothing quite like being outside.
What am I supposed to take a picture of? I mean, crap.
Aw.
Come on.
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess.
Hold still up.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the...
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Huh.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. Great shot, Dawn!
Dang, I timed that.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Damn. That's gotta suck.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Good old Sammy.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Now, I want the rifle. Stupid. I'm gonna keep crawling through this stuff.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Okay, how many people lived in this house, man? Jeez. What is this?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
What?
That's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
What?
I wonder what he saw.
Alright, so I gotta get the duck.
What his world is like.
I got the duck.
It reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw, it sure made him happy.
It's a whale. Oh, come on now, this is just stupid.
I know how silly it sounds.
This is so stupid.
I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could.
Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
If I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Oh no.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
Oh, come on.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
What?
I'm sure he's happy.
Wait, no. Don't go there. Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I want him to be happy too.
Hey.
Okay. Love, Sam.
This is just one really unfortunate family, man. I swear. I hate to laugh, but damn. Gus.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Boom, Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea.
Because they are always a bad idea. Watch. This is going to be the worst wedding in history.
Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
And he died. Wait, what? What? Come here.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Give me these words.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Oh, what's back there, bud? Ah! Busted.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
I love this kid.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
But whoa! Can I take all this with me? Come here. Grab everything.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Oh
Thunder
boy.
sounded much too close
Oh
and full
boy.
of angry calls.
Here we go.
But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
This is so stupid. Whoa! Oh boy. Forget.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone.
What?
Just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Well read.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Gus. Now I'm climbing.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
I don't like the fact that it was loading. Oh my gosh.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
Cool.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal, but it didn't last.
Hold on. Scientific method. Oh.
6 beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
This is gonna be great. Haven't seen that in a long time. Time to read again.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
What made it so magical? The fact that it can kill. That takes some talent there. This is a lot of pages. Stop.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Did he really disappear?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Man, she's got a lot of issues.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Come on. Time to go up even higher.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
How did they get a boat up here? Holy crap.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
That clearly helped, let me tell you. Red light. That. Boat. What the? There we go. Saving.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Wait. Oh,
Lewis
yeah.
and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Atta boy, PlayStation, let's go. That's my first Lewis Finch locker contents. That's a nice setup, not gonna lie. Well, it kind of looks like the headset I just bought today. I'm currently using. Don Finch 2141. First one.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
But what?
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Get to what? Get in the what?
Wonder. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
Oh my gosh.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Well, what?
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, I already know how this is gonna end. Hey, welcome to the
On
stream.
the edge
How
of
you
a
doing?
city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Fish! Hey, welcome to
He
the
no
stream. How
longer
you doing?
spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Uh-oh.
So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Well, I would assume so, bud.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Oh, this isn't good. He's gonna chop his hand.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Let's go with
sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her silver harp.
getting difficult.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Whoa. Well, at least I'm not doing that. What is that?
Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown.
Oh boy.
There was only one thing left to do.
Kill. Oh well.
Bend down his head. rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Damn. That's a little...
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So we got Dawn, Odin, and Edie. Oh, you got a diploma. Come on. Who's next? Dawn.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Do you understand? I don't think you do. Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
What's gonna happen? Are things gonna get interesting?
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
The last night. So I am Edith. Call it from the beginning, bud.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Or you could just kick down the door. Wait, how'd you seal it on this side?
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
Oh boy, what happened?
That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
What do you mean,
When
go
the
back?
fog rolled in, I lost my way.
What are you talking about? Okay, now you
I got turned around.
Nah, bud. I know which way I'm going.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
See, I knew I was gonna make it first try.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Grandma!
The next
Grandma!
morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Yeah, my grandma.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
I like doing this. Just great angle.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Oh boy.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Damn.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Damn. Are you sure about that?
Until I found out about you.
Huh?
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Whoa. What's going on here, Chief?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Huh?
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Wait, am I the baby inside of her?
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Damn! Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing? For Shirley Dallas, huh? Wait, is this it? Oh, come on! But I think it's Finn, Eddie, or Odin, or Dawn. What? Is this really it? Like, I don't know what to say, but I might wait this out. Thanks, Johan. What? This is really it. Huh. I mean, yeah, it was interesting. Huh. I don't know. I'm gonna see what this is. Hey, welcome to the stream. How you doing? If it'll load, hopefully. Wait, what?
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Oh yeah, this stuff. Wow. Damn. I was hoping this would be a scary game. It was not. This was rather disappointing. Not gonna lie. Teach and to learn. Don Finch. Alright, well. Anyways, guys, if you liked this, let me know. I'll see if I can get more into this genre for you. If you didn't, just let me know as well, and I will never go back to this genre again. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in the next one.